Hello, people of the internet. Greetings. Let me get this microphone because it is far away. There we go. Hello. Thank you for watching. My name is Briyana D. Clarel. My pronouns are they, them, and you are watching a very Virgo virtual show. The show where I channel all of my double Virgo energy into 1 hour of wholesome entertainment for you to all enjoy. It's organized, it's informative, and most of all, it'll be fun. So if you would like to use some closed captions, we're on YouTube, so you can do that. You can click the button if you want to see visualize what I am saying. And this episode today is called Gender is a Universe. I was originally going to release this during Women's History Month, but it is a pandemic and I got tired. And gender is relevant all the time, so we're going to go with it. Let me start with our agenda for the day. There we go. Gender is a Universe. And we have a very special guest, which we'll get to soon. Here's our agenda for the day. We are starting off with the check-in, which is where we check in. I want to know what's going on. Feel free to use the comment feature. I can see all your comments. I might even pull them up on screen if you say something fun. Very exciting. After that, we have the queer question, which is my fun random research report on gender. Then we have a curated conversation with my friend Ariel Monts. And then we have a rainbow reading, which is basically story time. And then in true Virgo fashion, we'll wrap up with some unsolicited advice and a set of clearly delineated tasks for you to take with you as you move forward with your evening and your weekend. So we're going to start off with the check-in. I'm going to remove the slides. We're back. The check-in. There we go. So if you are watching, if you would like to check in, feel free. If you want to share your name, your pronouns, your favorite beverage, and I, for research purposes, would like to know where you get information about things relating to gender, literally anything. And I will say that again, and I'm going to make another little, this is in the way. I'm going to make another little banner. Should have done this before, didn't do it. If you want to check in, share your name, share your pronouns, share your favorite beverage, because I would like to know. Bonus points if it's a non-alcoholic beverage, because we try to keep it family friendly here. We're gonna make it scroll. Is it going? There we go. We're checking in. Name, pronouns, favorite beverage. Where do you learn about gender? I'm also gonna pull this up. It's a pandemic and I got tired. That's my new tagline. Please use it. That's been me for the last 16 months. Has it been 16 months of a pandemic? If not, I've been saying it for that long anyway. Okay, let's see. We got a yay story time. We got wait, what was my question? Oh, where do you learn about gender? I forgot the question was. Where do you learn about gender? We got a social media. I feel like I should be keeping tabs on all these. Social media, Jack and Ginger. I love that. Root beer, don't even remember at this point. Those are some good beverages we have going on. I'm going to turn on my fan because it's getting hot. Do we have any more check-ins? Oh no, that's going to make it flicker. You can check in at any point during the show if you want to let me know what your favorite beverage is and where you learn about gender. Feel free. But we're going to keep going. Oh, we have some more people. We got another coffee, favorite beverage, social media, learning about gender. Grape juice. And I'm going to pull up this one. Root beer, not root bear. No drinking of the bear happening here. That is good to know. I wasn't going to point it out, So we got some people checking in. I should have asked where y'all are from. I keep being like, we don't need to do the same icebreakers, but people want to know. I want to know where you're from. But anyway, thank you for participating in the check-in. We're going to move on to, drum roll, the queer question. The question that you all have been waiting for the answer to. This is my random research report. And we still got the scrolls going on. Hold on. I am doing this time on one computer, so it's going better than anticipated. The queer question. This is my random research report. Today's queer question: how are we doing with gender? You know, people, there's a lot going on. You know, I think that people think that we're in a really great place and things are definitely a lot better, but I think a lot of people think they know what's going on and they don't know what's going on at all. So this was my research question. I put together a survey. We're going to get into the results of that survey right now. So we're going to start off with the methods. The survey that I created was via Google Docs. Very fancy indeed. It was open to anyone. It had I think it actually had 8 questions. There were 4 demographic questions and 7 actual questions about gender. I also asked for an affirmation for people to share. It was anonymous. I did not ask for anyone's name or any other identifying information beyond like their demographic information. I shared it via social media. It was on my website, all that good stuff. And I got 14 responses. Thank you so much to the 14 people who indulged me in this very unofficial research. I truly appreciate it. And I think that all of our viewers do too. So let's talk about the demographics. I'm pulling it up right now because I'm going to read from the very official Google Doc that we have going on. My favorite, I think, was, I'm going backwards, gender. I asked, what's your gender? 3 people said female. 1 person said F. And 1 person said, oh wait, no, that's a different one. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, 3 people said female. There's another one where someone said female with an N, which I just thought was funny. So what's your gender? We had 3 people say female, 1 person questioning, someone said anything. 1 person said a series of panic attacks currently. We had non-binary. Someone just said F. Someone says cis female, woman, but non-binary feels better. Someone said truth, justice, in the American way, female. I don't know what that means. So we have a range, lots of non-binary people, some women, etc. filled this out. In terms of gender, race and ethnicity, 5 people said white. 1 person said no. A bunch of people said black. We had said South Asian. I could tell you the breakdown of this, but it doesn't really matter. For the purpose of this report, it does not. Age, someone also said no for age. You know, I support that. The range was largely between 24 and I think 32. So generally young people, millennials, even though I think 24 might be Gen Z at this point. I can't keep track. And then what's going on with sexuality? It's mostly queer people. We have chaotic bisexual on here. The rest of them generally queer, bisexual, gay. I think there's 2 straight people who said that they were straight because not everyone answered this question. So we got a mix of people who responded to this, mostly queer people, mostly black people. So the first question that I asked was, what is gender? 3 people, what is gender? Yeah, 3 people. Oh, okay, so this number is actually higher. 3 people said female. 1 person said F. Did I click on the right one? Yeah. Yes. And 1 person said female with an N instead of an M. So that was 5 people. I put the wrong number. 5 people who said, what is gender? And they responded some version of female. I'm going to assume that they didn't read the question clearly, but I also just think it's funny that I asked what gender was and everyone was just like, it's female, it's only female. 4 people said it was a social construct as part of their answer, which I love because it is. And then I have some other answers that people gave that I pulled out. Fluid and something that society better get ready to get right with quick. A galaxy of fun. IDK, I just got here. A construct, a performance, and an expression. We also have a galaxy of fun. I already said a galaxy of fun. There's one more that I want to read out loud. I don't remember what it was. Something made up to keep you in line was another one that was poignant. And then here, this person went in. A social construct by which people are categorized and or categorize themselves based on their appearance, mannerisms, and self-identification. Or it's a feeling in your heart about who you are and how you want others to see you. Or it's all vibes. Very thorough. Thank you, person who wrote that. I don't know who you are. That's all there is to say. I'm also going to pull up this comment that says the gender is female because that's 5 people responded that way. Gender is just female. We're going to go to the next question. The next question was, what should gender reveals be replaced with? The options were astrological sign reveals, babies almost here parties, or free healthcare. 12 people said free healthcare. 2 people said babies almost here parties. At least one of those people said that they were cis and straight. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. I also support babies almost here parties. I think those are very cute. I just also want free healthcare more. Another fun one. Which term or terms annoy you? Which terms annoys you the most? There's a grammatical error here. You know what? I'm letting it go. Which term or terms annoy you the most? I'm going to do my best to pronounce these because some of these are not words that should be said. Non-men, female identifying females, woman with an X and a Y. And the other choice was all invoke equal wrath. 6 people, 42.9% said all invoke equal wrath. We had 3 people say the women's with a Y and an X was 3. Female identifying got 2. Females was 2. Non-men was 1. The correct answer was all invoke equal wrath. Just kidding. It was a poll. There was no correct answer, but there was a correct answer. For the record, there's no reason to say all of these, any of these. They're all just cancel them all. Abolish all of these terms. How often do you think about gender? This was like a scale rating. Do you think about it? 0 being not at all, 5 being the most. No one who filled this out said not at all, which makes sense because I don't think any cis men filled out this survey. So we have a range between, this seems like a lot of people picked 2 to 3 and 4 and 5. Anyway, we be thinking about gender. That's the takeaway from this very scientific part of this survey. I also asked, where did you learn about gender? And I will read you some of the responses. Where did you first learn about gender? We got parents, college, question mark, kids book / the library, school, college, probably the internet, as a social concept, university. This person said implicit education at home, explicit education at inclusive church, gender and sexuality course. I would like to know more about the inclusive church, gender and sexuality course. So if that was you, please let me know. I want to talk about it. Somebody else said extended family pushing roles on me. My parents were actually very cool about letting me explore gender, which upset my aunt and uncles. Dislike, like the parents, dislike the behaviors and actions of the aunts and uncles. Someone else said conscious of it as a child, really learned it about 8 years ago when a friend came out to us as transgender. This one resonates with me. I swear I did not write it. This person said, I thought about how my body was different than white girls before I thought about gender. Intersections. Somebody said ballet class. And somebody else said, I have no memory of when I first learned about the gender binary, but I remember the first time I heard of someone not being within it. I doubted them internally, mostly because I was like 14. So we got a range. People, it seems like people kind of have an acknowledgement that they learned about it as kids, but they probably didn't really unpack it until something sparked their interest in doing so. And it seems like a lot of people did that in college, or having a friend, or navigating their own gender and family when other people didn't want them to do that thing. The next one is, what gives you good gender feelings? Somebody put the name of a clothing company, and I don't know what it is because I didn't look it up, so I'm not going to say it because it might be evil. And I'll just read some of the other ones. People had some clothes, jumpsuits, sports bras, a good haircut, and a good shirt, drawing on a beard and a stash, lipstick and leggings, pretty colors, dresses. Pronouns also came up. Alert, alert, alert. People like it when you use their pronouns right. Somebody said people using both of my pronouns. Someone says she/they or he/they pronouns. People saying pronouns rather than preferred pronouns. Someone said high fantasy, socks matching my outfit perfectly. Someone else said not hearing laws against it. Like not hearing laws against gender gives me good gender feelings. Yes. And the last one that I will read is when people feel comfortable with me, talk about their pronouns and identify without fear. I love that. I would love for everyone to feel that way. I'm just going to pull up the It Might Be Evil. I don't know what this company is. Who knows? Someone else also said that they discussions on how gender is fluid and how it can change because theirs does makes them feel happy gender feelings. And the last question that I asked was, who gifted you your current name? And everyone except for one person said my parents are guardians, and then one person said I picked it out as my legal name, but it was a family nickname that my parents wanted for me since birth, so both. Interesting. I know lots of folks who have chosen their own names, but everyone who filled this out the 92.9% said their parents or guardians gave them the name that they currently use, which is cute, if that works for you. In conclusion, we like gender fluidity. Also, stop using wild gender terms. Also, use people's pronouns. Also, people learn about gender early, but often don't get the analysis until later in life because we're not taught to think that way often. We do not like laws regulating gender, and also we need free healthcare. So thank you for watching this section and segment of the show. This queer question has been answered. Where are we at with gender? We're in an interesting place. Lots of people are feeling good, exploring, expressing themselves, and a lot of people are still, stuck on some things that we got to let go. This very scientific study was not approved by any governing body or backed by any institution. No animals were harmed. I'm going to pull up some. How do I? Okay, boop. There we go. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Abolish women's. Yes, we definitely need to abolish that, please. And of course, if you have questions that you would like answered, there we go. If you have questions that you would like answered in a random research survey, feel free to reach out to me. Put it in an email. I also have a form at veryvirgoshow.com where you can ask the Virgo. And if you ask a question that I feel like I need to go into in more depth, then I will do that. So we're going to move on to the next part of the show. Moving on. It's time for a curated conversation. So this is a new part of the show. If you watched the first episode, this was not part of it. Basically, I find people who I think are cool, and then I ask them some random questions. This week, I virtually sat down with my friend Ari. I'm going to play our curated conversation right now, and I hope you enjoy it. Is it going to start playing immediately? I'm not sure. Hello, and welcome to a curated conversation with Ari L. Monts. I met Ari almost 5 years ago in Austin, Texas, where we had the great pleasure of being the only 2 Black people in our incoming graduate student cohort. Yay! But now we're a time zone apart, but still connected in our hearts. I am very excited to have them as a guest on the show today. There they are.
Hello.
And I will now do a dramatic reading of their bio because reading bios is always really awkward and life is short. I haven't decided if it's going to have an accent or not yet. I think not. Ari L. Monts, they, them, is an independent scholar, artist, and queer. I'm not going to say this word. I should have asked you. I skimmed it too. I say it.
Liturgist.
I'm going to start over.
Got it.
Ari L. Monts, they, them, is an independent scholar, artiste, and queer liturgist based in Austin, Texas. Their work looks at the role of participatory performance rituals in the lives of queer women and non-binary people of color, and includes research centered around performance and play in queer nightlife and various religious liturgies and their intersections. From 2015 to the great, wonderful year of 2020, they were a staff writer for Autostraddle.com, where they wrote about religion, sex, and joy. They're currently a fellow with the ALEPH Jewish Renewal Kesher Program and do Montessori and story-based work at an Episcopal church with children.
Wow. That was lovely.
My table started wobbling in the middle of that. It's fine. Welcome. Thanks for being here virtually with me in this StreamYard room.
I'm happy to be here.
This is a curated conversation, which means I have questions prepared for you. They're silly, they're fun, they're very Virgo. So if you're ready, we can just get started. If we veer off and talk about other stuff, that's also great. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Yes.
Okay. And I also made little banners so you can see what the questions are. This is the first one. If you could design an amusement park or theme park, I don't know the difference between the two. Amusement sounds more, like you have to be amused. Theme just means like it has to be thematic. I don't know the difference, but what would it be?
If I could design an amusement park, I think that it would be small town themed. Like it would be like you go into it and it feels like you're in like a small town. And so they're like nosy shopkeepers who are selling you overpriced, burgers and candy things that you get at amusement parks. Half the rides never work because they're just old, but they've been there forever. What else is very something is like incredibly themed in a way that like no one really understands why it is that way, but like it's just always been that way. Like the town that I grew up in had an apple harvest festival. There's not an apple orchard in that town. Why do we have the apple harvest festival? I don't know, but I love it. Yeah, so I think like small town theme. Yes.
That's great. In high school went to so many harvest festivals because my show choir would perform at them. Like pumpkin festival, harvest, like so many all over the place. But there probably were actually pumpkins around somewhere. I believe. Thank you for answering my first silly question.
That's a great question.
We have another one. This one's a little more serious. We're gonna switch it. There we go. What energizes you?
Okay, things that energize me. Rest, particularly Shabbat, which is Saturday for Jews, a day where we are technically commanded to do absolutely nothing, not even like turn on a light switch. So like a day of purposeful doing nothing absolutely energizes me. An afternoon walk. Love a good afternoon walk. I feel great after an afternoon walk. A early morning shower if the shower comes after 9 o'clock, it's not energizing. It's just like a fake attempt for me to feel like I'm starting my day. So like a shower at like 7:30, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Like it's so early. But if I can get in the shower at 7:30, I've like made breakfast, I brushed my teeth, I probably filled out my planner all before 8:45. If it comes after 9 o'clock, I'm doing nothing for the rest of the day except feeling clean. And my cats, when they're being incredibly silly, energizes me.
Those are so great. I just got these like shower steamer thingies and I have like citrus mint ones that are supposed to energize you in the morning. However, I shower at various times of the day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's like 3 p.m. and I'm like, okay, we gotta wake up. It hasn't worked yet.
Yeah.
Sleepy time one works.
I just got this foaming Epsom salt bath wash that's for nighttime that has melatonin, lavender, and chamomile in it.
I don't understand how melatonin works. So
neither do I.
You can ingest it, but it also can seep through your pores.
Guess so. I don't know, but
I'm gonna look that up later.
Sleep like a rock afterwards, so works really well.
Fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. Would you also like to share with the audience what your beverage is?
Yes. Today I am drinking unsweetened, original, plain sparkling water, HEB brand. I would say Polar Seltzer is my favorite, but HEB would be second.
Polar
followed by Big Swig. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Polar is really good.
Okay, here's a fun one. We're gonna get some media going on. Which TV characters are non-binary or trans to you?
Gene from Bob's Burgers
Absolutely.
is absolutely not growing up to be a cis man. Who else? What am I watching right now? Jeez.
I didn't even think about this. Like, I didn't think of my own answers, so I also need to think about this.
Honestly, I think Frasier Crane could be non-binary. You've never seen Frasier? Oh man.
There's a long list of shows and movies that I have never seen, and at this point in my life, never will. It's like if I'd seen it in high school, like but now it's like never gonna watch that show. Let's cancel forever.
Yeah, right. And I mean, there are like 12 seasons of it, and each season is like 30 episodes, so it's just so much Frasier. It was on for so long.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow.
People loved it.
Mm-hmm. I've recently been like watching I watched like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island recently. Not as good as I remembered it was, but I was like, everyone's gay. So obviously I like this. I was like, everyone is. Yeah, I have to think about the who else is like non-binary. But I've definitely been like, all these characters are gay.
Yeah, everyone's gay for sure on television. Maybe BMO from Adventure Time. I also think BMO might be like canonically non-binary. BMO is like the little
video game.
Yeah.
Thing. Mm-hmm. I started rewatching it. I did not get very far.
It's so good.
It commands a lot of my attention, and I'm usually really overwhelmed. So
yeah.
I'm about like halfway through the second season, which is only a couple episodes further than I got when I first started watching it like 10 years ago.
Very fair.
But
it goes from like a silly show about like a 12-year-old boy who gets crushes to like something that's like a deep introspection of your psyche as like someone who is aging very quickly. And it's incredibly uncomfortable if you're watching it like binging.
I'm gonna like dive back in at some point.
Take your time.
I'm always like, the animation, there's so many things happening.
Yeah.
Well, if you think of any more, we can pop them in whenever.
Okay.
All of these questions are for the people at home. All these questions are a surprise. So there was no preparation for me. They were a surprise to me because I just came up with them. Okay, I have another one. Bam. What are some new foods that you would like to try?
Oh, wow. So this question is great because Briyana and I were going to make a show called Ari Tries because I am an incredibly picky eater. A food that I tell myself I would like to try it, and then like there is the point when it's like you could buy this and you could try it, is tofu. I'm terrified of it. I'm like everyone eats tofu. It's like a very normal thing to eat now. But You put tofu in front of me and I'm like, I'm so good, thank you. But I would like to try tofu.
I would like for you to try tofu. Good tofu, though. I think I have a slight tofu addiction. I don't think I should be eating soy. I just don't think my body likes it. But I just like can't eat. I'm like, I should eat a different protein source today, and then I'm like, just the tofu, please. I like tofu plain, like depending on what it's with. So I'm just like, I mean, it's better not plain. But like when I first started eating tofu, I was like, yes, throw it in a salad. This is great. Wow. It's just the texture is like it's just satisfying.
See, anyway. And that's where I think we disagree, because once someone made, so I went to a potluck and someone made butter chicken, but for half of the chicken, they included tofu, and they didn't mention that necessarily.
It was chicken and tofu together?
Nope. So it was like butter chicken, and like maybe they chopped like 2 chicken thighs and threw that in there, and then like 2 little blocks of tofu and threw that in there. And so like you're eating it and you're like, oh, chicken, cool, I know what that is. And then I would take another bite, tofu. And I was like, this is not what chicken is supposed to taste like or feel like in my mouth.
That's so interesting. I mean, I don't eat meat, so the thought of like putting those 2 things together, I'd just be like, why?
So their partner doesn't eat meat, and so I think that's something that they do when they're like trying to make a dish that both of them can eat. But like, why would they put them in the same pot
together?
That's not how vegetarianism works. That's not how that works.
That is.
Yeah, I'm really scared of tofu.
You conjured a memory from the before times, like right before the pandemic. One of the last events that I went to was some like mixer thing, and I went there with like a couple other Black people who had like invited me to go to this thing. It was like a bunch of white people. It's not explaining this well. It was a potential like job opportunity. It's fine. Anyway, somebody like brings out snacks, and we're like, I like watched somebody like walk to the kitchen with a pack of like tofu from Trader Joe's, and then I watched them walk back in, and we're just like staring at it. And somebody had like cut up. It was like the like super dense one that's like,
yeah,
you don't need to like press it. Mm-hmm. So I just like cut up this tofu and then put like salt and pepper on it. No! And they were like, this is fine. This because I guess they had cheese, and then they were like, this is the vegan option. It's just sliced tofu, salt and pepper on. And then I was like, we need to leave. That's what caused the pandemic.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's accurate. Anyway, that is just,
yeah.
Don't eat tofu like that. It needs something. Mm-mm. It needs seasoning. It needs to be cut up well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. One day. We'll
see. I would also like to try figs.
Figs. I've never had a fresh fig, only dried ones.
They grow in Texas.
Interesting. Yeah. They're good though. They're like I don't know. I feel like most fruits, whenever I eat them, I'm like, fruit is so good.
Fruit is really good. Yeah. Fruit is just delicious.
There's a fig tree around here somewhere. I remember one day on my birthday, I went out walking and some random guy was like, do you want a fig off of my tree?
That's so nice.
It was very cute. But I didn't eat it because I forgot, and then it went bad and I felt bad. Yeah. Anyway. Figs and tofu.
Great answer. Tofu.
I'm gonna remember that. Okay. We have a couple of more questions for this curated conversation. The next one is, if you had a personal assistant who's paid so well, they're compensated, fantastically, phenomenally compensated for their labor. What would you have them do?
Oh my God, I know this answer. So part of my job at the Episcopal Church is calling families. And ideally, I should be calling parents once a month. I began in January. I have maybe called 4 families since then. So my personal assistant would have a list of all the families. And every month, they would just go through that list and say, hey, how are you doing? Do you need anything? Everything good? Great. If you need to meet with Ari, let me schedule a meeting with them for you. Because that's the worst part of my job. Yeah. They would just call people and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? And if the answer is no, then that's it.
I want to help manifest that for you.
God, I want someone to take that job so badly. Luckily, no one's complained and everyone feels like I communicate very well. But like calling people once a month, 30, 40 families, that's a person a day. That's too much. That's too much.
As soon as you stop, you have to do it again.
Exactly. You literally cannot stop. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it.
If anyone is interested in being a pro bono personal assistant,
yes,
you can contact Ari via their social media, which we'll address later. Okay, this is going to be a fun round of I wrote a random list of things where you get to pick this or that. We also don't do binaries here, so if you want to, say whatever you want. But I have them. There's 10. They're very random. Okay, hold on. I'm changing the order. Okay, the first one. Sunrise or sunset?
Oh, sunrise.
Spring or summer?
Spring, baby. Gemini season.
True.
First week of June. Yeah.
Coming soon. Like very soon.
Very soon. My birthday is in 26 days.
I'm like, what? I don't understand how it is the day that it is. That's fine.
I know.
The Color Purple soundtrack, original Broadway cast recording, or the revival?
The revival. Oh, except the original Broadway, the overtures in the original Broadway soundtrack need to be in the revival. I don't like that they cut out the overtures. Those are so good.
Oh, really? I haven't listened to the revival one in a really long time, but I did just listen to the original one all the way through the other day.
I'm going to do that when we get off. Such a good musical. Oh my God.
Really is. All the things.
Okay, wait, no, I'm not sure. Now I'm like, but LaShawne's, isn't that first one? Actually, yeah, I don't know, because LaShawne's is amazing. I like the way the second one sounds, but also Cynthia Erivo is a homewrecker. We all know that she stole Lena Waithe from her wife. And
it's controversial content we're about to put out.
Listen, it's all on Twitter. It's public knowledge. If you ever check either of their Instagrams, they're so bad at like posting as if they're not in the same place. It's hilarious. Like they don't even try anymore.
It's really funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Both. I'm gonna say both.
Okay, I accept that. This is a complicated this or that. This is a this or that or that. I think I got it. Do you prefer to work with the teeny tinies, elementary school age, the middle school age, or teenagers?
My favorite age, I would say like early elementary. So like that 5 to 8-year-old range. They're so fun. And they can like say full sentences. So right now I teach a mixed age 3 to 10-year-old classroom, and 3 and 4-year-olds love to be like, once I was, and just over and over and over. And then like the story they're telling you is like, I went to the beach yesterday. And like the question is like, what was your favorite part of the story? And so
Same.
Same. And so like that 5 to 8-year-old range is fun. I like them. Yeah.
That's so specific. And I like that you know that, because I'm always like, I'm like the little ones, but then the big ones, but then the little, I don't know.
Yeah. 5 to 8. That's when they're, that's when they also learn like jokes. And so like, they're not always good jokes, but like, you can tell that they're making a joke and that's what's funny.
And they still like the banana split.
Yes.
Which is, I love that. When the older ones are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, banana! With me. Okay, the next one. Would you rather speak every language or be able to read every language? They are mutually exclusive.
Ooh.
I guess, in this hypothetical situation.
Read. Yeah, I would rather be able to read. Because if you can speak every language, can you understand what you're saying if you can speak every language?
Yes, yes. About it. But yes, I think you can speak and understand the spoken word, the spoken.
Oh, then maybe
versus
spoken.
Being able to read it and write it.
Okay, then yeah, spoken. Reading and writing feels like pretentious. I would rather be able to speak to people than like read what people who make enough money to get a book deal have to say.
Real, yes.
Yeah, I don't care what Spanish academics are saying to me. No.
However, I do feel like if it were pandemic forever, I would perhaps maybe not want to be able to read. I don't know. Never mind.
Well, because speaking, you could do like TV, which is still forever.
Yeah, you could still watch TV, the news. True. I was like, if I'm gonna be a straight up hermit, or like if I don't have internet, then I would rather like be able to read. But otherwise, spoken word. I already know the answer to this one, but I think it's funny. Musical theater or slam poetry?
Musical theater.
I was like, what should I ask?
For everyone who does not know, slam poetry makes me itchy. I feel secondhand embarrassment, even if they are embarrassed. And they shouldn't be embarrassed. Like, go ahead and do your art form. I'm so proud of you. And when I see slam poetry, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Oh boy.
The poets aren't gonna like that.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, the next one's super random. Would you rather go on a silent meditation retreat or to a sports camp?
Oh.
I don't know what kind of sports.
Okay, yeah, I was like, what kind of sport? Is it like lacrosse?
Kind of sport that you want? I just picked general sport.
Am I already good at the sport? Or do I not
you
know
as your current self?
Oh, silent retreat. If I was like really good at lacrosse right now, I would totally go to lacrosse camp. But
I guess that, like the sports camp could be it could be a beginner's sports camp.
No, relearning that I would have to relearn how to play lacrosse again. And that first month and a half of learning how to play lacrosse is actually just boring. It's just ball drills and I actually don't know how to catch a ball. I feel great about myself. So silent retreat. Yeah.
Another memory unlocked. When I was in middle school, we had to take quizzes in gym. Take a test on lacrosse, which I feel is the most why?
Right? What are they asking?
Rules, the origin. Wow. I don't even remember.
Native Americans originated lacrosse, which is really cool.
That was the only interesting question on there. The rest of them are what? How do you win? How do you play? Blah, blah, blah.
No
one cares.
No.
Sports are fine. I'm not against sports. Sports are fine.
I'm against football. I will say that. I will come out and say that.
There are a lot of reasons to be against football.
Very dangerous. Yes.
Okay, we have 3 more this or that's.
Okay.
This rapid round is not very rapid. That's fine.
I love it though.
Jingle Jangle or Happiest Season?
Jingle Jangle! I will never watch Happiest Season again. Jingle Jangle is a yearly occurrence now.
I am surprised I haven't I've watched it twice. I'm surprised I haven't watched it this year yet. Yeah. I might do that later today.
Yeah, I'm Christmas in May. time.
all year round. Would you rather have a scrapbook or a picture frame, or picture frames? Several is fine.
Picture frames. If you can see my home. Picture frames everywhere.
That checks out.
Yeah.
Sticky notes or index cards?
Ooh. Sticky notes. Yeah. Because you can make a sticky note into an index card, or like do like something similar to what an index card is doing. But index cards can't stick.
It's interesting because I feel like I would say the opposite, because if you're using them for like flashcards, like a post-it, like a sticky is not gonna like do the same thing.
But you could do like on like a poster board, you put down a bunch of sticky notes, and then underneath the sticky note, you write what you need to know. And on the sticky note, you write like what would be one side of the flashcard, and then you just lift it up.
Then it's not portable.
No, yeah, that's true. Not at all. No, that's like an actual carrying your poster to the library.
And the sticky, the post-it, oh my god, I have index cards and sticky notes hanging up on my wall right now. But the index cards, I put some little washi tape up there. Anyway, I support your answer. You know.
Thank you.
That was all of the this or that. We have one final question.
Okay.
For our very special guest in this curated conversation. Okay, hold on, click it. When we build a better world, what do you think your role will be?
When we build a better world, I hope that my role is helping the community to raise whatever the next generation is. I care a lot about kids, and I know that a lot of people don't like kids, and that's totally fine. But it's like, people are going to keep having kids. They just do it. And the only way that the world will be better for more than a generation is if we keep raising the children to believe that they can also inherit this better world and keep it going. So I want to be there with the kids and helping them to know that they are important and that they matter in our community. Yeah.
So cute.
I love kids.
The babies.
Yeah. And then you get to like hold babies all day and like, God, baby head smell. That's like a hit of serotonin. Like, I'm good. You're good for the day.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. I've been Banner. Thank you so much for participating in this curated conversation. We're going to wave now as we transition back to the show. Yay! Thank you so much for watching the first iteration of a curated conversation. That was an experiment. I hope you all liked it. There will be many more to come, so stay tuned. Keep watching. If you notice, I can't sit still. I'm fidgeting right now. So, you know. So thank you. I want to say thank you again to Ari for joining me for that very virtual curated conversation. If you would like to follow Ari on social media, here are their linkies at the bottom. Up next, we have a rainbow reading, which actually has some comments. Oh, we have two Brianna's. Gasp. I know, I was trying to navigate getting doing the switcheroo. Oh, I can remove it. No, I don't know how to remove it. Whatever. Thank you for watching. We're going to move on to a rainbow reading. Where's my banner? There we go. So each episode, I write something for you. A script, a story, a poem, a recipe, who knows? In addition to this very engaging conversation that you all just watched, I also had Ari give me 7 ingredients to help me write the thing that I wrote. And I am proud to say that I included all 7 of these ingredients in today's story time. So I will now read to you the ingredients that they gave to me. I'm going to leave up their social media information a little bit longer if you want to follow them. So here are the 7 ingredients that Ari gave me to shape my writing. The first one was the last week of Gemini season. Number 2 was a kombucha SCOBY. Number 3 was dried flowers. Number 4 was 3 kittens. Number 5 was sparkly nail polish. Number 6 was vegan spaghetti bolognese. And number 7 was the book Frog and Toad Are Friends. So without further ado, I will now read to you the story that I created based off of these 7 ingredients. Yes, I am straight up reading off of my screen. I'm looking all over the place. Y'all will be okay. Pretend I'm a Twitch streamer. Games. This story is called The Very Important Guest. It was a chilly Tuesday morning, rather brisk for the last week of Gemini season. Our currently unnamed main character relaxed in their rocking chair, feeling the breeze from their second floor balcony while sipping a cool, sparkling water. Just a few moments of rest remained before their day would commence. A very important guest would arrive within the next 2 hours, and they needed to prepare. After draining the can of carbonated bliss, they stepped into their sunlit apartment. They scanned the living area, noting how much they still had to do. After tossing their empty sparkling water cans and bottles of sparkling juice into the recycling, they retrieved 1 bottle and rinsed it out. They then transferred some tasteful dead flowers into it. As they looked for a place to put their new vase, they saw that all the surfaces were covered with many things. Leaving the flowers on the kitchen counter, they moved to tackle the overflowing pile atop the bookshelf. Amongst the books about writing, vegan cookbooks, and essential oil diffuser manuals, our unnamed main character found a copy of Frog and Toad Are Friends. They smiled and put it to the side. After the rest of the books were shelved, they placed Frog and Toad, the aforementioned friends, with the DIY vase of flowers in the kitchen. Next, they tackled the kitchen table. The night before, they had left their kombucha SCOBY in its large jar on the table for observation. They took the SCOBY and tucked it into a corner of the kitchen and cleared the rest of the papers, mail, and wrappers from the table. Finally, 2 of the surfaces down. From the coffee table, they cleared more papers, a sweater, and expired gift cards to Bath & Body Works. They came across a postcard that was blank with 3 kittens on it. They added it to... Oh, sorry. Hold on. What's it say? Fun story. I dictated this after writing it down. So this is what Google translated my dictation to, and I don't know what it says. The postcard. They added the postcard to the kitchen pile of things that we're gathering. Finally, they thought they cleared off more space. They checked the time. They were doing great, but then they realized that they hadn't made a plan for lunch, or was it brunch? Unclear. They pulled their phone out from the side pocket of their leggings. Hey, they said, can you ask what I should make for lunch? Vegan spaghetti bolognese? I don't know about that. No, yeah, I know how to make it. I just can't really do tomatoes right now. Yeah, okay, I can make pad thai. See you soon. After hanging up, they finally put the flowers, the book, and the postcard on the table and went to the kitchen to prepare lunch. Seconds after they placed the final dish on the table, the doorbell chimed. They smiled, untied their avocado print apron, and opened the door. A small, colorful blur wrapped themselves around their legs. Hey, kid, our unnamed main character exclaimed. The parent of the kid stepped inside. They've been really excited all week. I packed their sparkling nail polish, they said. 3 colors this time, said the kid. I can't wait, said our unnamed main character. I hope you're ready for pad thai. Yay, said the kid. I'll just be down the street. I was going to go work at that new kombucha bar, but I think I'm going to go to the acupuncture/used bookstore instead. I hear they have complimentary bath bombs, said the parent. I'll give you my punch card, said the unnamed main character. They hug, and the parent leaves. The kid is already climbing into a chair at the table. I love this book. Are these kitties for me? They ask. Yes, of course, our unnamed main character said. And this vegan noodle feast too. I had to prepare a very important day for a very important guest. Our unnamed main character starts serving the noodles. They laughed and ate and painted their nails and went for a walk and picked flowers and watched 7.5 minutes of a Shakespeare play in the park before they got bored. When the parent came back, the kid was tired. Thank you for doing this, said the parent. Thank you for doing this, said the unnamed main character. Thank you for doing this, said the kid. And they all lived happily ever after with free healthcare, no prisons, and sparkly nail polish for all. The end. There's a comment. I'm going to applaud myself since there's no one here to applaud for me. We have a comment. Frog and Toad. I've actually never read that book. But I know of the famous Frog and Toad. Thank you, Ari, for those delicious ingredients. I have never had spaghetti bolognese. I do not know if I ever will. Thank you. We got some claps and some love. Thank you for those ingredients that helped me birth that cute little story about an important guest. We're going to keep going because we're almost at an hour and I don't want to keep everyone forever, but you are loving the show. Oh, this is about the spaghetti. Oh, spaghetti with meat sauce. Interesting. That's what I thought that it was because I feel like vegans like to make it with lentils. IDK. We're going to move on to the next segment of the show. That was a rainbow reading. Oh, we still got Ari tickering down there. There we go. That was a rainbow reading, aka story time. Now we're going to move on to unsolicited advice. And we're going to bring back the PowerPoint. This is the part of the show where, in true Virgo fashion, I share some unsolicited advice, tips and tricks that literally no one asked for. Today's topic is gender. There we go. So here's some unsolicited advice from your friendly local Virgo. Number 1, end gender reveals for babies. If adults are trans or not trans and they want to reveal their gender to people, they can do that. But for babies, creepy. Infants, creepy. Stop having gender reveals. It's creepy. It reinforces the connection between gender and genitals, which is fake and damaging to trans youth and everyone. For further details about why you should stop having gender reveals, look up gender reveal plus fire. This will hopefully persuade you. Number 2, watch your language. Stop using binary language to refer to groups of people. Actually, you can if you want. Just know that I'm going to assume you're not talking to me. So if you say, ladies and gentlemen, no eating on screen, I'm just going to keep eating on screen. The choice is yours because you're not talking to me. Here's a short list of other terms that you should probably stop using because they make no sense. Number 1, female. Unless you're talking about a chihuahua or plant parts or need to be talking about someone's birth certificate. Why? Also, woman identifying. I wrote a whole bunch of sentences. I'm not even going to explain it. It just doesn't make any sense. Additionally, female identified and female identifying. Burn them both. We don't need them. Also, femme/mask presenting. Please stop assigning mask and femme to people based on their appearance. This label assumes that the individual is intentionally presenting a certain way and that they assign that label to their presentation. You are the one perceiving someone else's presentation and assigning a label to it. You can acknowledge that you're doing that, but by saying that someone is femme or mask presenting, you're just assuming that that's how they want to present when you don't know that. Additionally, identify as. People love to say that someone identifies as a gender when that's just their gender. And finally, words mean things, so just watch your language. Number 3 on our list of unsolicited advice is let people live. Do not physically harm people. That's bad, for who they are, for their gender expression or their gender identity or what their gender is. Eliminate discrimination and bias so that people can keep jobs and support themselves and have housing and all the things that they need to live. Also, celebrate gender diversity and dismantle sexism at every level. And yes, that includes in your mind and with your BFFs. We got some comments here. I don't know what this was in response to, so I'm just going to assume it was a response to all of it. Yes, gender reveals are the leading cause of forest fires. I don't know if that's true, but I did write a sketch about it. If you want to watch it, go to the Rhubarb's comedy. Oh, we got some taking notes. Yes, take notes. Can you share the specifics in written form? I will probably retype this up and share it on my Patreon if you would like to read this in a written form of all of the words that I said don't say. It was a lot. I'm aware. There's a lot of words that people say that are just not fun. So look out for my Patreon if you want that. And also the story I'll also post on my Patreon too. Thank you for listening to my unsolicited advice that no one asked for. Before we wrap up this episode, I have a few clearly delineated tasks for you. So we're transitioning again. Let me get my clearly delineated tasks. And I'm going to switch to the next slide. I like very clear next steps after I attend a meeting or watch a show or, do anything. I want to know exactly what I'm supposed to do. So I came up with some clearly, oh wait, that's not it. Never mind. Bloop. I came up with some clearly delineated tasks for you. There are 5 of them if you want to take notes. Number 1 is if you want to see more of the show, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. You're on YouTube, subscribe. Just do it right now. You can also if you want to leave a comment. I also appreciate that. But you can also follow at Very Virgo Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's at Very Virgo Show on all of them. So that's task number 1, clearly delineated. Subscribe, follow Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. The next step is tune into the next episode of a Very Virgo virtual show on Thursday, March 27th. That's in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's spring themed. There will be another curated conversation with a very special guest. Episodes of the show are every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join live like you're doing right now, or you can catch the replay whenever you want. Either is great. Number 3, fill out the random research survey. Boop. There we go. You can go to veryvirgoshow.com. It says fill out random research survey number 3. It's about the Earth. It's very cute. It's open to anyone. Anyone who wants to take it, you want to have your answers represented, evaluated, picked apart on this show, please fill out the random research survey. Again, veryvirgoshow.com. Additionally, if you would like to support this project and get some fun behind the scenes content, including those tips on things not to say and that story, head on over to my Patreon at patreon.com/ / I don't know the difference between the slashes, whatever, / Briyana Clarel. I'll pull that up. And number 5 is learn what you can do to help free Palestine and then do it. There are lots of things. Look up the BDS list. Don't buy things that are on that list. There's a lot of things on there. SodaStream, Saber Hummus, lots of stuff. Keep up to date on what's going on. These things have been going on for a very long time. That is my final clearly delineated task. Follow on social media. Watch the next episode. Fill out the random research survey. Check out my Patreon and free Palestine. That was 5 clearly delineated tasks. Yay. Please remember that gender is a universe and we do not need a gender binary. And before you go, here are some affirmations shared by some wonderful random research survey participants. So I will quickly read them to you. I picked 3. You know who you are. Grow yourself in any way that brings you joy. That one's sweet. Everyone has the right to their gender and to feel free in their own skin. Your gender is valid. Your identity is valid. You are valid. And the last one, you are anything and everything, and the world is better because you are here. I want to leave that one up. Thank you again to all of my patrons and everyone who made this episode possible. Until next time, please wear a mask regardless of what the CDC says and get vaccinated. Thanks for watching. Bye.